There's nothing more bullish than your stocks or the index making new highs. And you can see, again today, the Nasdaq up 286 points or 1.51%, close at 19,269, which is an all-time high. And the volume here is coming in massive, 62% above average daily volume. So you get asked like, what's going on? Well, you see the caution here ahead of the election here is sold off a little bit because you don't know the outcome or what's going to happen. But we have a clear winner and no disputes. And I heard Harris and Biden both said, a peaceful transfer of power and the Trump administration will take over in January. And so that's behind us now. And then the Federal Reserve, lowered interest rates today and the market did not even flinch. Normally we get a lot of gyration, but you can see here, 2 o'clock Eastern time, when he announced it, it just ticked up a little bit, then kind of gradually sold off into the close, but pretty nice, steady. That's what you want to see. Normally, when the Fed makes an interest rate move and speaks, when Jerome Powell speaks, the market really gyrates. But the Federal Reserve gave the market what it wanted today, and the market did not flinch. So what we have is a very powerful market, a lot of money, big money coming in, as the risk now is off a little bit after the election and now after the Fed has made their announcement. So this has been a fantastic week for the Nasdaq, making new highs. It's up 5.6%. So when the Nasdaq goes up like this, and you can see it bouncing off the moving average there, uh, when the Nasdaq is up like this, you can expect your growth stocks to be up 10%. And that's what we're seeing a lot across the board. I'm going to get to that in a minute. I do have to show some of the other indexes, though. This is the SPY. It was up, 0.75%, not quite like the Nasdaq, but still making new highs. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average, down on the session or flat, I should say. It was up a little bit and came down, but still made a new high today, 43,823. So that's is all going to look good when you get your quarterly statements for your 401ks. And then the IWM, which had been strong, pulled back a little bit today. As the Fed lowered rates, you think that eventually will be good. So you give it some time on the Russell 2000. Anyway, I want to go back to the Nasdaq because I have to show where we are in relation to our moving averages. And the Nasdaq is now 4.4% above the 21 and 6.9% above the 50. And there's just a lot of money coming in. I expect it to probably trend higher a little bit here in the next few sessions, but we know it's going to come back. So take advantage of this time while we're rallying here. And I know that's what you're doing because a lot of you are contacting me on Twitter. Anyway, I guess I'm going to have to start with the Mag 7 today because this Trump administration is going to be a little more, or should I say less, less regulations, okay, for these mega cap tech stocks. It's going to be bullish for them. And these guys are these stocks are the companies are the ones with the money and the resources to really excel during AI. I have to mention Tesla. That was Apple getting above the 50. Tesla, must part of the administration here. The thing broke out, typical bull wedge pattern. We've seen this a lot recently where it, made that high near around that buy point of 264, then pulled back to the 21. Then the last couple of days has really shot up. Had a little problem there with 300 today. If we take a look at the 5-minute chart, got up to that 300 level almost, and then pulled back just slightly, 299.75. Yeah, so made another run up here, 299.50, and then pulled back just a little bit into the close. But still, 299.75 was the high in the session. I would imagine it would take it out at some point in the very near future. That would be my expectation. Okay, I'm going to go back to Microsoft because this is another company that's had trouble with the Biden administration with the DOJ and the FTC. They've really been after these companies. So I think this is like a relief rally. This is Amazon breaking out from that 201.20 buy area. It's not too far above it there. It's still actionable there. Amazon looks pretty good. And then Meta Platforms, another one, that 201, excuse me, Meta, it's around 600. Yeah. Pull back from that 600 level. We've seen this before, right? Pull back to the 50 and finally pop today, 3 something percent. And going to get back to that 600 level and see if we can push through it this time. We're really seeing a lot of stocks hit these big round numbers and then being rejected. And normally they come back a couple times before they can power through there. Certainly Tesla was one, and Meta here at 600. All right, let's move on to, oh, I guess the last one would be, oh, I didn't do Google. I got to do Google. Yeah, this one looks good here. Set up with the cup with handle pattern there. You can see that pullback to the moving average now popped. Once again, these guys are, they got issues. They want to be, government wants to split them up, but that might change in the next, the Trump administration. So we'll just have to wait and see. It's all speculation at this point. And the last one is NVIDIA. Once again, it's got that 140.76. So a lot of these mega cap tech stocks are still trading near their buy points here. This one's starting to push away from that base a little bit, 149 after hours, but it's not totally gone like some of the other ones that we've seen recently. So some of those are looking really good, and I think they're going to do well in the short term and in the long term, actually, because they're set up in bases. We're not seeing a lot of quality stocks and a lot of leadership that are near bases. They've broken out and they've taken off. That's why they're leaders. And if they haven't, most of them are laggards or they failed miserably. So anyway, I'm going to go through some earnings, and this is going to take a long time because there's a lot of stocks reporting earnings and being rewarded. None other than AppLovin, which if you didn't get it here at the 91 level, if you say I want to buy this stock, 91's at buy point, it popped above it on this session, and you say you missed it, right? It broke above on September 11th, 13%, then just started ripping higher and higher and higher. And if you wanted to buy it and you wanted at 91, you're waiting for a pullback, you never got it until about right here. It came back to its 10. It's already at 140 bucks. And if you missed it on that one day, it just started ripping higher again. You got up to 174, then pulled back a couple of sessions near the 10. Now you're trying to buy it before earnings, and that's always a risky. It's too much of a gamble. I mean, to buy heavy, buy big in front of an earnings report. But this one paid off 46% today, and let's just see for the week. Yeah, it's up 50% for the week. So yeah, big move for AppLovin. Fantastic stock. When stocks make moves like that, I mean, they're just screaming, leadership and that the institutions are buying this thing. You knew back here these big blue bars, that institutions are buying, and they're back again for another bite of this apple here of AppLovin. Look at, just go back to all the big volume weeks are up weeks, and the down weeks come on lighter volume. So this is pretty obvious here. It couldn't be more obvious. This stock is screaming leadership. All right, enough of that. I'm going to go to Bros. Bros, nice report. And I think this is a fantastic stock. I think they're taking market share from Starbucks, and you're seeing a lot. I'm going to get to this in a minute. I'm going to post a video here when I get time after earnings season about some of these younger merchandise, some of the newer names that are starting to perform well. They're going through their institutional due diligence phase, and then obviously, like with AppLovin, I mean that's an advanced phase. If you've ever seen an advanced phase, up 50% in a week, yeah, that's an advanced phase. So and also, like CAVA, another new name that's really showing a lot of leadership and strength. So like I said, I will put together maybe a top 10 something of the IPOs. Elf Beauty reported today, and this one, is really sold off. It was like 55% below its 52-week high, and in a stage 4 decline. But it kind of like made a bottom here. a little bit as it tested this low here around 100. There you see the 100 kind of tested it before earnings. Now it popped 11%, closed at 116. So keep my eye on ELF. They had a real strong report, 40% sales growth, and they're taking market share. And they just they're in Italy now, and they're in Germany, and they're going to open in 2025. Target, Walgreens, I don't know. It's the best in breed. It's kind of a declining market, though. It's a shrinking market. They're taking share in a shrinking market is what they're doing. So I guess fewer people using makeup products, I guess. It's out of my element. Qualcomm, a nice report from Qualcomm, ended up flat. And if you take a look at the 5-minute chart, because it had opened up high and gave you the old okey doke, and then came right down, just flat all day. So that's not what you really want to see. But I'd keep my eye on it. It was a real strong report. You could see the accelerating sales growth, 1, 11, 19. Earnings, reactions and responses can be wonky the first couple of days, and they can be delayed. So I would not give up if I was a Qualcomm shareholder, because we never give up, but we don't want to be stupid either. Now, this one looks like it's formed a little bottom, and Qualcomm, I think it's going to be fine. Just got to give it some time. UPWK Upwork reported, and nice response here. If you take a look at the weekly, this looks like just a stage 1 breakout here. This is huge waterfall trade, and this thing tested and retested a low, and now it's right there near that buy point, the standard buy point of $16.36, just 10 cents below it there. So Upwork looks pretty good. Something to keep an eye on. IONQ. This is one that I had an inkling would do pretty well because I don't know. This is in the SMCI and Dell category. You can see the computer hardware was the number one. Is the number one industry group for much of the year, and now in a real hurry has fallen off, mostly because of SMCI and what's happened to that company. But man, that's a mess. IONQ, nice reaction to the report, up 50% this week. Hello, we'll take that. Only 34% on the day. Once again, you see that action there that we have to look out for, like the pullback to the moving average. But you don't want to buy it ahead of earnings. Not big anyway. Z, they reported nice move here, 23%. Man, we're seeing just a lot of these big moves. In a bull market, this is what you're going to see. A real nice earnings surprise, and even on average earnings, we're seeing stuff pop. So this is LYFT up 22%. Breaking out there. What else we have? GH, Guardian Health, had a nice response, up 13%. Man, STRL missed more by, I was surprised how much they missed by. This thing pulled back to the 21 and then popped. We got to look at the 5-minute chart on this one because it was down a lot in the early morning. And see, this is what happens in a bull market. The buyers come in, right, and just buy it right back up, and it closed flat on the session. So that's a pretty good move, actually. And I would say that 170.50 area would be an area of interest for me if I was looking to buy sterling. What else reported? Oh, VST, Vista reported, and they talked about making more deals with these hyperscalers for more energy. You can see the negative numbers to the positive 21 to 54, and the earnings coming in. I mean, they're in $5.33 this quarter. That's quite a impressive number, and it was up more than 7%. So that's a nice move for VST. And then FARO, this is I really don't know what these guys do except for make new highs. Okay, new highs with volume, 36% move. That's what they do. They make people money, I guess. QTWO, this is one that I had on a ready list a while back when it was around that 95.94 area, and it's just been surfing its 10, and today it popped 13%, made a new high above 102. We'll see if it can handle that 100 level. But another software name looking good. And then the Planet Fitness, people are working out now, right? Joining the club, getting in shape. Planet Fitness real strong move here above that 8508. That's power through the pivot. So you got to like that 11% move for Planet Fitness. And then Under Armour got a couple ticker symbols up 23% on their earnings report. What else do we have? WWW, probably never even heard of this one. This is they manage, this is a retail apparel shoe stock. They have a rugged outdoor footwear like boots, military footwear. Nice move, 35% with volume on Wolverine Worldwide. All right, Ralph Lauren, a bigger name in the apparel business. Nice pop there, 6.5%. On earnings CPRX, this is a biotech. These guys, they've been delivering pretty good numbers here. You can see pretty consistently here, 15, 23, 25. So accelerating sales growth. So good for them. A nice pop. And, close probably the lower of the daily range, it looks like there. Let me see here. I'm just curious. I'm not going to buy Catalyst, but just curious there. 19%. You really don't want to see that. What else do we have? Oh, SITMs. This is like all areas pretty much of just the whole market is just pretty much seeing big moves here. This is SITM, SITM. Anyway, it's a fabless, semiconductor fabless up 19% following its earnings. And then, oh, I got to go to this one. This is my favorite ticker symbol. One of my favorite ticker symbols, Golf. They make the Titleist products, Titleist apparel, golf balls, and all that jazz. Anyway, nice 12% pop following its earnings. DXPE, they reported, I think on this day here, 2 days ago, but they announced some deal partnerships and some deals today. So this thing popped nearly 10%, made new highs. Duolingo, I thought the report was really good. And like I say, some earnings responses are a little wonky. You got to look at this one though, because it was impressive the way it sold off at the open, then came back, real strong. It was up, quite a few. What was it? 324, and then pulled back and sold into the close. But I still like the numbers, and I think that this thing's going to be fine overall. 40% sales growth and subscriber growth. I think Duolingo is just going to be fine. Datadog reported this morning and a decent response, up 1%. Still, consolidating in that base. This is taking a long time in that stage 2 base there, but keep my eye on Datadog. That's it for me. I kid. I did mention that there's some new merchandise, and I am going to put together a video of maybe 10 of my favorite stocks, but this is certainly one of them. And this is pretty clear textbook, institutional due diligence through the bear market, that as we come through in the new bull market, the uptrend, this is starting to exert itself. Had this cup with handle and then the breakout. This is classic textbook stuff. And it's up 9 weeks in a row, which I like. Today it breached the 170 level. You can see it's up nearly 10% this week. So that's what you expect with the Nasdaq up 5%. Your growth stocks are going to be up 10% or more. And that's what we're seeing. And so anyway, this is one that I like. ALAB is another one that I like. This one is only up 30% today. Some people were griping. Hey, what's wrong with this thing? It's down today. Well, geez, it's up 30%. And this one had trouble with the 100 level. It got up to 99.84 and then pulled back. That's all. There's nothing wrong with this. This looks fantastic, especially on the weekly. As you can see, it just broke out of this IPO base. And in my opinion, it's just starting its institutional advance phase. And this could go from, a 14 billion market cap to a 50 billion market cap in a hurry. Don't count that out. You see that earnings line heading due north. So, those types of things happen in a bull market with big money coming in, as we've been seeing here. All right. What other one? Oh, Reddit. Reddit's another one that, don't discount it. I know people say it's really expensive, it's overvalued, blah, blah, blah. Well, price pays, and only price pays. It's up 16% this week. They reported earnings last week, had that big move of 38%, followed up with a 16% move this week. So, the only price pays. So don't argue, man, that the market's telling you somebody's buying this stock. Okay, the people who've done the research and their due diligence, and they like it, and they're buying it. You can tell by the volume numbers down there. And then ARM is more of a, it's well, how shall I say this? ARM's been around for a while, but it is a recent, it's newer merchandise, and this one's still consolidating in its base here. If you want to take a look at the weekly, but there's just a bunch of them that I like, and I'm going to make a video and show you some of the ones that I like, and Bros is certainly one of them because they're taking market share. And if this thing decides that it wants to get out of this due diligence phase and begin an advanced phase, this is definitely one to pay attention to. Up 34% this week. That earnings line heading due north, and Bros looks fantastic. Anyway, I already went through here. All right, I'm going to go and switch gears here and go to the biotech stocks. So a name that I really like, TGTX. This is not blasting out of its base, but you can see this little shake out here, and we've seen these a lot lately. These little pullbacks to a moving average and then bounce, okay? This is kind of opposite because it's breaking out with lighter volume and sold off with heavy volume, and it's just pushing away from the base, just crawling like a snail. This is a snail break, not a gel break. Super slow, but making new highs, and you can see this cup pattern and this little elongated handle. And as long as it's making new 52-week highs, I'm not going to complain about TGTX. That one looks really good. Vertex is one that I really like. I don't mention it very often, but this one's setting up in a base. Once again, having trouble with that 500 level. If I was going to buy this, I like it above 500. I don't like it below because I don't want it sitting here, just squatting below 500 and it acting as resistance. And you're holding this while a bunch of other stuff is going up 30%. You don't want to be sitting here holding something that's struggling at 500. But yeah, above it, I like it. It's got that standard buy point of 510, so might show up on our ready list next week. And there's another one that I think made new highs today. I got to be honest, I have no idea what this company does. It's just a biotech stock, Canadian-based. Anyway, making new highs. So I like stocks making new highs. I think I've said that before. I also like stocks up 26% in a week, breaking out of a stage one base. So that one looks fantastic. That's ZymeWorks, ZYME. All right, I got to go to corrections. The correction stocks, they're not correcting. They're really kicking ass. Excuse my French. This one was up big yesterday, 29%. Followed through today with a 26% move. No news really, except for the changing of the guard, the election this week. And the other one is Geo, kind of similar action here. Was up big yesterday and then followed through with a 13% move today. This one was up 42% yesterday and then followed through 13% today. So these stocks have had great weeks, up 69%. And anyway, I'm going to get to some of the other ones here in a minute. U is in this group as well. Wow, this one must have reported earnings and I didn't know about it because this one's down 25%. Anyway, AXON is in this group as well. And they reported earnings today, up 13% after hours. I'll get to those in a minute. You can see that pullback. How many times have we seen this little bull wedge pattern, huh? Where it pulls back to a moving average and then pops. But like I say, you can't get heavy ahead of earnings because it could go the other way and you could really get smacked. And then you have no control. You wake up and you're down 20%. So don't do that. All right, I'm going to move on to another group, and that's the cryptocurrency group, which has been really strong. It's thought that the new administration, the Trump administration, would be a little more friendlier towards the digital currency markets, and this has been up nicely. MicroStrategy, MSTR. I like to play MSTU on this one because it just gives you a little more juice. This one's up 35% this week. Yeah, it's 2 times leverage. So anytime you play with leverage, it works both ways, right? Because you can really get hammered if it goes the other way. And of course, Hood is in this group. Another one that I like in the group. Flat today after a big move yesterday. And then Coin, flat today. All right, let's move on. Some of the restaurant group looking good here. CAVA, once again, that pullback to the moving average, busting higher. SHAK, There's another one that's made a nice move, just had a little stall day today, just a pause for the cause. And then Texas Roadhouse, we know that one has been making new highs. And it was just a little flat today. Nothing wrong with that. All right. Couple of software names. I'll be done soon, folks. Pull back, it had a downgrade, undercut its 50 now, it's rallied back above, made a new high today. Man, that looks good. They're going to have earnings on Veterans Day, 11/11. All right. ESTC is another one that I like. Not going to have earnings till the 29th. That it fell on its face after the last couple of earnings reports, so I'm looking for a better earnings report this time. And then come Monday, it'll be all right. Says Jimmy Buffett, and making new highs today. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Except for at mcstockcharts.com, I have one more thing, and that is in honor of the great Steve Jobs. Earnings reports from a bunch of stocks, more earnings. I know. I just got through showing you a ton of earnings, and I'm not really dissecting any, technical charts here. I'm just showing you earnings reactions. DraftKings down by 5% after hours. We do not want to see that. EXPE, I know they reported, okay, they were up pretty good. And then Airbnb had a nice reaction. I thought, nope, down after hours. Okay. Pins, since Elliott Management took over, Pins has been doing pretty well, but not today. No soup for you. Down nearly 15% after hours. And I don't really know. I didn't go through all these names. So I know Square missed on revenues. Yeah, down 7%. Nice cup with handle there, but the miss. And it's going to be, well, it's going to probably open lower. Maybe we'll get the old okey doke and it'll rise. But I just know they missed on revenues. Rivian, I think they're losing $39,000 for every automobile they make. And they lost more money than expected. But, stock's up, I don't know, a little bit after hours. That's like a Jim Morrison trade. It's been down so long. TTD, Trade Desk down after hours. I think I better not. I'll have more in the morning on all of these because I read so much crap that it blurs together. It just blends in my brain. But I'll have more detail. Wow, Affirm nothing after hours. That's kind of strange. Upstart. Nice 17% move for Upstart. Once again, that, pullback, kind of like the index, little caution ahead of the election out the last 3 days, moves higher, then pops above that 57.40. So that's a nice move for Upstart. Fortinet, this is a well-run company. My wife used to work here. She really enjoyed her time there, and it's just real sharp management. Anyway, pull back to the 50 and pop, but down after hours, and I don't have any information on their report at all. Sweet Greens, I know these guys bombed. They were down only 6% after hours, not bad. I, once again, did not see the report, and it could just be some profit taking in that company. What else do we have here after hours? Oh, I mentioned Axon. Yeah, they reported. Once again, I don't know the report, but it's up 12% after hours. I'll have all that in the morning. Lots of stuff going on. Stay positive. In this bull market, you take profits, buy yourself something nice or your significant other something nice because you don't have profits until you sell something. So it doesn't hurt to take profits. You're never going to make a perfect trade. Just we want the meat of the trade. We don't want to buy the bottom and sell the top. We're not that perfect. So anyway, I did want to show you something about there was a report that the Russia-Ukraine war might end, which is you could look at it too. It's bad for the defense stocks, and it's good anytime a war ends. It's good. I don't know if it's going to end well for Ukraine, but these stocks were kind of flat and down today. I noticed a couple of them. Yeah, Howmet was down. How about GE? Some of these, yeah, they were down on news of a possibility. It's all speculation at this point of a new administration. You don't know which way that's going to turn, but the defense names were down with that rumor that there might be some foreseeable closure to that conflict. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching at mcstockcharts.com. Remember, the yin and the yang, there's always some good in the bad, and there's always some bad in even the best of us. So just be moderate, take care of yourself, and breathe. I always tell my wife to breathe, just breathe. We tell her to relax. She says, "Don't tell me to relax." Yeah, so I tell her to breathe. Take a deep breath, hold it for 10 seconds, let it all out. You'll feel better. Do that for a couple minutes. Anyway, I'm out of here. Have a nice evening. Never give up.